Alright, let's talk about something that's quietly running your life. Not your mindset, not your motivation, your nervous system. Because long before you had goals, boundaries, or a personality, your body learned a rule. This is what life feels like. And once the nervous system learns that rule, it doesn't update automatically just because you grew up. Most people think childhood ends, but the body doesn't store childhood as a memory. It stores it as a map. A map of what is safe, what is dangerous, what kind of love is available, what kind of conflict is normal. And that map becomes the default program you live inside, even when you don't agree with it. Welcome to Spark, a place for healing. Today I want to show you how childhood trains your nervous system for the rest of your life, and why you can feel stuck in patterns you never consciously chose. Not because you're broken, not because you're bad in relationships, but because your body learned survival strategies before you had language for what was happening. A child can't leave. A child can't negotiate safety. A child can't say, "This environment is unhealthy, I'm going to find a better one." So instead, the nervous system does the only thing it can do: it adapts. It learns what to expect, and then it shapes you around that expectation. This isn't about big trauma. Sometimes it's not even one event, it's a pattern, tone, unpredictability, emotional distance, being punished for having needs, being praised only when you perform. A nervous system doesn't need a headline to change, it changes through repetition. Here are three common childhood environments that train the system. Unpredictability, where anything can shift at any time. Emotional absence, where needs are met physically but not emotionally. Conditional safety, where love is earned through behavior. Different childhoods, same result. A nervous system that learned to scan. The nervous system learns through association. If calm was followed by criticism, calm becomes suspicious. If expressing emotion led to the rejection of those emotions, emotion becomes dangerous. If closeness led to control, love becomes pressure. These aren't beliefs, they're body predictions. Most childhood nervous systems adapt in four common ways: fight, push back, argue, control. Flight, escape, stay busy, avoid. Freeze, shut down, numb, disappear. Phone, people please, manage emotions, be easy. These are not personalities, they are strategies. The problem is this: if you live inside a strategy long enough, it starts to feel like you. I'm just intense. I'm just independent. I'm just not emotional. I'm just sensitive. But often that's not identity. That's adaptation wearing your name. This is why adult life can look stable and your body still reacts like you're in danger. A partner is quiet and your body hears abandonment. A boss sends a short message and your body hears threat. Someone sets a boundary and your body hears rejection. Your nervous system isn't reading the present, it's matching the past. Your reaction is rarely about the moment itself. It's about what the moment resembles. Your body doesn't ask, "Is this objectively dangerous?" It asks, "Have I felt this before, and did it end badly?" That's why it's so fast, and why willpower can't stop it. Once the system is trained, it creates loops. You anticipate danger, you brace, you act from protection, then the world responds to that energy, and your body goes, "See, I was right." And the map gets reinforced. The core truth is simple. Your nervous system is loyal, not to your goals, not to your logic, to what it learned first. Childhood doesn't just shape your memories, it shapes your baseline. If you've been living inside patterns you didn't choose, now you know where they come from. Not from weakness, from training. And training can be updated. But first, we have to understand what it means. When you understand childhood training, you stop treating your patterns as personal defects. Because what you call issues were often your body learning how to stay connected, protected, and safe. It was learning, not failing. As a child, you unconsciously took on a job. Sometimes it was keep the peace, sometimes it was don't need too much, sometimes it was be impressive, sometimes it was stay invisible. And if you carried that job into adulthood, It's not because you're weak, it's because your system is consistent. It feels personal because the training happened early, before you could separate me from what's happening. So the nervous system fused. If the environment is unsafe, then something about me must be wrong. That's not a thought you chose. That's an early survival conclusion. People don't recreate childhood because they want pain. They recreate it because it's familiar, and familiar feels safer than unknown. Even when familiar hurts, a nervous system would often choose predictable discomfort over unpredictable peace. This is why growth can feel scary. Not because you don't want it, because your body hears new, and new means uncertain, and uncertain means danger. So the system pulls you back to what it recognizes, even if what it recognizes is stress. If you learn fight, it may have been because being passive didn't protect you. So you became sharp, fast, ready. It wasn't anger issues. It was a system trying to stop harm before it arrived. If you learned fight, it may have been because stillness didn't feel safe, so you stayed busy, productive, always moving. And then the world rewarded you for it. But inside, your nervous system never learned how to settle. If you learned freeze, it may have been because you couldn't win and you couldn't leave. So you disappeared internally, you numbed, you detached. And later, you might call it laziness, brain fog, or lack of motivation when it was originally just protection. If you learned phone, it may have been because connection was conditional, so you became agreeable, helpful, emotionally skilled. You learned to predict moods, manage reactions, avoid conflict. That wasn't your personality being nice. That was your nervous system staying safe through approval. The most important part, you didn't wake up one day and choose your survival response. Your body chose it in real time, based on what it needed to keep you connected to life. And that deserves respect, not shame. The map might be outdated, but you're not. Your system is running a program built for a world that no longer exists. That's why the reaction feels too big. It's not about size, it's about time. You can understand all of this intellectually and still react because the nervous system isn't persuaded by insight alone. It's trained by experience. Your body doesn't change through explanation. It changes through repetition of safety. Some people trigger you more than others because they resemble an old relationship dynamic, not in obvious ways, in energy, tone, unavailability, control, unpredictability. Your nervous system recognizes patterns faster than your mind can label them. Many people were trained not only into a response, but into shame about the response. Stop crying. You're too much. Don't be dramatic. So the nervous system learned not only is it unsafe, it's unsafe to show that it's unsafe. Understanding gives you a distance, not emotional distance, clarity distance. It lets you see this is a pattern, this is old, this is a trained response. And that clarity alone can reduce threat because confusion is fuel for the nervous system. Stop calling it me. Stop calling it my system. Not I'm too much, but my nervous system is bracing. Not I'm bad at relationships, but my body expects danger in closeness. This reduces shame, and shame keeps the system activated. Every survival response has a signature. Fight has heat. Flight has urgency. Freeze has fog. Phone has over-attunement. Your job isn't to erase it. Your job is to recognize it earlier, before it becomes the driver. The goal is a gap, a small pause between trigger and response. Not a perfect pause, a real one. Because that gap is where the new program gets installed. No gap means the old map keeps winning. Don't argue with the feeling. Don't debate the trigger. Bring safety to the body first. Because if the body is convinced it's in danger, no explanation will land. Regulation comes before reasoning. Your nervous system was trained through repetition, so it updates through repetition. Small experiences of I'm okay are more powerful than one dramatic breakthrough. Consistency rewrites the map. In relationships, many people replay a childhood role: the fixer, the peacemaker, the performer, the invisible one, the responsible one. If you notice the role, you can stop calling it fate and start calling it a pattern. You don't start by being fully vulnerable. That can overwhelm the system. You start with safe honesty, small truths stated calmly. Because honesty without safety becomes threat. But honesty with safety becomes rewiring. Many nervous systems confuse intensity with connection. If love used to come with volatility, calm can feel like distance. So you chase chemistry, urgency, highs and lows, and call it real. Part of healing is letting consistency become attractive. If you're building a regulated system, you can't keep living inside chaos and call it growth. This isn't about blaming people. It's about choosing environments that reward stability instead of punishing it. Some of your deepest rewiring happens relationally, not through perfect partners, through consistent signals. Repair, steadiness, warmth, predictability. Your body learns connection can be safe. Most people only try to regulate before stress, but the real work is after. After reaction, you don't punish yourself. You return, you repair, you reset. That teaches the nervous system we can come back. Your system needs predictable signals. Sleep consistency, food consistency, movement consistency. Not extreme, regular. Because unpredictability is what trained the system in the first place. Predictability is part of the antidote. Resistance doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. It means your nervous system notices change. But don't treat resistance like a command. It's a message, a signal, not a verdict. You're not trying to delete childhood. You're teaching your body, that was then, this is now. And your system doesn't need to stay armed in a life that no longer requires it. If your patterns feel older than you are, they probably are. But the fact that you're seeing them now means the training is no longer invisible. And then when it becomes visible, it becomes changeable. You didn't choose the program, but you can update it, one safe repetition at a time. That's it for today. Thanks for spending this time with us. If this resonated, take a moment and comment on what your body is learning right now. Naming it is part of the process. Share, like, and comment, and be part of our community. We're Spark Growth, your companion on the path of healing.